Tapped in exclusive. We are the internet, bitch.
Tap.
You're officially tapped into the Tapped In Music podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Melody, and we have a really terrific show for you tonight. I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Half Off.
Boo.
That's all he has to say.
Boo.
But even better, we're joined by Blueysport, my
Yeah.
boy who has known Half Off for some time, and myself. And he's a local producer, local to the LA area.
Yeah, from LA, yeah.
And I'm gonna let you take it from there, dog. Tell us about what you've been up to, and how'd you start producing? Let's start there.
I was
go.
in bands, so I played guitar. I was always like in bands, just like
In like
Battle
rock
of-
bands or in like band
rock,
class?
like straight,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
like metal. It was like metal, hardcore.
Damn,
So we would be like, it was so hilarious. Be like, oh, I can't wait for Battle of the Bands in 8th grade. Everybody, we're gonna go and be the fucking like play some heavy shit and piss off,
Fuck yeah, make
And then
everyone happy,
I was in, and then I honestly didn't start producing until like after high school.
Oh
I was
shit,
I was
okay.
always still in bands, and
Okay.
then and then I just got Logic.
What
and,
was your first band's name? This is like
I
the
actually
best.
remember this. It was hold on. I know this one. Overtone.
Overtone, nice.
I remember my homie, he was like super elite, like pretentious music. He was like thought of the name. He's like Overtone. It's like it's this music thing.
This is so trash, dude. Oh my
But yeah,
God.
so then I was in bands, and then dude,
And-
I was DJing, but I was like full like hip hop, like turntables, like scratching.
Nice.
Like I loved that shit. And I would bring my turntables and like had like a huge sub that weighed like 100 pounds, like 2 speakers. My homie, like I would like my homies who were in like college at the time, like USC,
Yeah.
I would DJ these massive USC
Just
parties.
USC parties and shit.
Yeah.
Were you doing like cuts, like fucking DJ quick shit?
No,
or,
I
like,
mean
what?
in my spare time and shit,
Yeah.
I would fucking DJ and scratch and like learn about scratching and shit. Like I was on like the forums and shit. Like I just loved
Yeah.
it. But whenever I would DJ, it'd be like I don't know, like party shit. Like at the
Yeah.
time, it was like a lot of EDM, house music, fucking just a lot of like house and like electro shit,
That's
But
beautiful.
then I specifically remember I was like on like this DJ forum,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, what's like the next stage of like being like a lit DJ, and it was
Yeah.
like producing your own music. And I specifically remember being like, oh wait, like damn,
like you got to do this shit.
and I was like oh shit, like it's way harder. I had like a realization. I
Right.
was like fuck. And then I remember I got Logic, and I was like, this shit is so hard.
Yeah, you're like, I'm
But
never
I
gonna
didn't quit
be able
using
to
it.
do
But
this.
I was like, oh yeah, like let's go. It's gonna be so easy. But then
Yeah.
I kept doing it, and I was just like making shitty music for like years. Nowadays, someone's like, some
That's
kid will
so
play a
fire.
beat. Someone will go and they're like, play you beats, and it just sounds like a fucking Future beat or something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like a Drake beat. You're like, oh, this is fire. How long have you been making beats? Like 3 months. I was making trash beats for years.
And you fucking just beat yourself up.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the thing.
I
Nowadays,
can't fucking-
okay, like before when I started producing, it was like I want to produce because it's like fun. It's like
Yeah.
I want to make music. Like,
Right.
oh, that'd be like how hilarious if we make. You kind of start joking, like making these hilarious rap songs.
Yeah, just fucking around.
But now it's like kids look at it as a product from the start. It's like
yeah.
I've been making beats for a week. I have a beat store. I have like sponsored Instagram posts. I have like a
Dog.
YouTube. And they learn.
Well,
they're like
they're
it's
all
as a
marketing
product. Yeah, and they're marketing
From
it.
the moment they're 12.
Yeah.
Like shit is so
So it's
crazy.
interesting. So like to see the timeline and
Yeah.
but I think it affects the product because then you don't have as much of a unique sound because it's from
Yeah.
the jump. It's like I want to make this a product.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you're trying to be super commercial out the gate.
Yeah.
And you're
yeah.
in it for money. Whereas you were like, I'm fucking rocking out. I'm doing metal band shit and just fucking going to town. And you end up like making beats
Yeah.
afterwards just out of DJing and being in and around music.
Yeah.
So for you, it was a journey.
And for me, really,
know what I
to
mean?
be
Like-
honest, I was like, actually, I'm straight on this.
Fucking
I was like
pussy.
you
rapping.
don't want the
Because I would
weed.
always just fucking, get
bad.
super fucked up and like rap for hours and shit. So I was
Yeah.
first, I learned Logic to record myself and I wasn't making beats.
to
And my
record
homie-
yourself rapping or to record yourself making
like
beats.
to make no, I wasn't making beats. I was just
Okay.
and like my homie Elzar, that's his real name.
Elzar.
Elzar, hilarious.
That's so
Sounds like
sick.
it's like Elzar sent to the beats. He's like this Russian fool and he's so zanned out all the time. Like
That's
super
awesome.
tall and like
Shout out
pale.
Elzar.
You shout out to Elzar. He's my first cosign. I fuck
Tall
with
and
him.
pale.
DJ
Nice.
Review.
Wow.
Yo,
You know
yeah. When we both like had linked up after years, and you were like, oh yeah, I started making beats, and I was like, me too.
Oh, you fucked with a song he produced.
And I remember I
would
hit you
do
up, I was
music
like,
videos
damn,
for
that
all
beat
of
is
them.
hard.
Yeah. It was called like.
So that fool
Up and
doesn't
Down or
live
some
from.
shit.
He's not in LA.
No, he's in LA. He like works at studios. But
Oh,
so
sick.
I learned Logic record. So I was kind of like was like a songwriter before producer.
Before you
and then
produced.
I was like started making my own beats just because I wanted to I was like you
Right.
have a vision like
Yeah.
no I need a beat that's like this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I still do a lot of songwriting now. Like I wouldn't
Okay.
pursue I would never try to be a rapper or any of that. But
Yeah.
I write songs and then
You'll
like
still
I
write.
Yeah, and like now I'm gonna put out some side stuff that's not really. It's like just music that I've like. I'm not gonna push it, but like I just
Yeah.
want to put it out because it's just some shit that I fuck with.
That
you know?
you're creating.
But yeah, that was kind of the process, and then just you befriended homies who are like more experienced producers. Like,
who are some of the people you like came up with besides like Elzar and shit? Like who are some people that
so my
took
homie,
you to that
my
next
homie
level?
who I was like rapping with, Taki Tari. Shout out Taki Tari.
Oh, Taki. I love
invited
that
him to
fucking
come.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gang.
So I
Damn,
had so
shout
he
out
intro-
Taki.
So me and him would rap and make
I'm
songs.
gonna bring him on next.
And shoot music videos.
Taki's fire.
And then
Yeah.
from him, he introduced me to Hurt Boy. And then and then I'm still cool with Hurt to this day. And then like
You met her boy through Taki?
through Taki, yeah. And then
Were they making music together?
yeah, we would Hurt
crazy.
every now and then would like throw us a bone and like give us a beat and let us
Like
record
a
at the
beat
studio.
out of nowhere?
I remember being like, oh shit, like wow, yeah, Hurt's letting us record. Like
This is a
fuck
Hurt Boy
yeah.
beat.
Looking back,
That's
I'm like, wow,
sick.
that was very nice of him because we were. I would be
Dude,
so
he's a
fucked
nice-
up,
he's
dude.
a
Too.
nice
I'd be
ass
like,
dude.
Hurt Boy
now,
pro-
if I look at
Nice as
myself,
fuck.
He still produces currently.
yeah,
right?
hell yeah.
What
Hurt's
are
killing it.
his notable shits like Chief Keef, right?
Yeah, he did a lot of Chief Keef shit. He did some like Odd Future shit, like
Right, right.
Left Brain and
Yeah.
all those fools. He's always been so tapped in with the underground.
Yeah.
Right.
Like he's worked with all these young, lean, fucking,
That's awesome.
Fredo.
Hurt's one of my favorite producers, for
Larry
sure.
Lee.
Yeah.
Like, he's just had, you know what I mean? He's super tapped in. Like now he's working a lot with Lil Dude and a lot of these other fools that are
Nice.
just killing it.
Yeah.
Super
Nice.
fire. Yeah, he's kind of like an A&R almost. Like he fucks with like even Smoke Perp and
Yeah,
shit. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Future even like.
I remember when he was
I was
running
the
all
first
those
time I
old
met
tracks
Future.
back.
The first time I met, I mean, the only time I met Future.
Was because of Hurt Boy?
No. I was at
Oh,
the
okay.
session and I brought Hurt, and like literally Future was telling me, he's like, man, Hurt Boy. He's like telling me about, he's like, man, Hurt Boy was passing out my CDs, man. He was the first person.
Oh my
Like he's pretty
God.
tapped
No way.
in, you know?
That's a tapped in exclusive. That's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
That's-
and he's
holy
like,
shit.
what's your daughter's name? He's like, Penny.
Penny.
It's beautiful, man.
So fucking funny.
Yeah, so
That's
Wow.
so sick.
so I was just always in
Hell
this
yeah.
like the shitty like dude like annoying young really fucked up
But
kid
always
like
there.
yeah I like
You're always like kind of in the room.
spill drinks
Yeah.
in the studio and shit.
That's
like,
fire. You got to start
Yeah.
somewhere. You know what I mean?
But
So-
yeah, and then like through him I met Benny, Trap Money Benny, and then me and Benny
Oh yeah,
became
shout
really
out
close.
Benny. That's hilarious.
And it was, I mean, the core was like them, and obviously Ralph's one, and those are
Yeah.
kind of like the people I came up with. And then
and you
I
guys
still
were,
work with pretty much the same people.
You guys were just like cooking together initially, and
Yeah, and then it got to the point where we kind of all. At first, it was always like I would just be at Hertz house, and then I got my studio, and then I was able to kind of make my own network of people
Of your
and
own shit,
rappers,
yeah.
and people would come through, and you meet little circles, and from them you meet them, and people you fuck with.
right.
Yeah, and then it's still pretty much same circle of people.
While you started so your journey started in rock, like
Yeah.
just in a band,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
fucking jamming out.
That was like my journey. Yeah, into like creating
Are we
music.
calling this shit
This
a journey?
Yeah, we're calling it a fucking.
But you know what's
journey,
funny is 'cause
well, let me
nowadays-
tell you why. Because it's the evolution that is so funny.
But you know what's
I
funny?
You know
How
what I
pure
mean?
that shit. When you're a little kid
Yeah.
and you have a band, it's so pure. Like now, I'll be like going into a session. I'm trying to write a song. I'm like
Yeah.
thinking about it so critically, and it's like this big deal. I'm like, I'm writing this song. I'm trying, like
It's a serious.
I'm trying to like compete with like the apex level
the
of.
top fucking
But
tier.
and then I'm like, yo, we were writing all these songs, not even thinking twice about it. It was so natural flow. You're
Yeah.
not overthinking it, and it's like, yeah, we're literally writing songs, like lyrics,
Yeah.
everything, like arrangements,
right.
and it's so crazy to think about, like, yeah, like.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that was like the first shit that I was creating music. Yeah.
So who was one of the first artists that you collaborated with? Like in terms of you were making beats and then you start working with a rapper.
And I was like producing for them.
yeah, like what's one of the first
Nice question.
rappers you linked with that?
I
you
mean,
really-
like I never really had a rapper besides like Talkie that I was like working steadily with over and over again.
Were you like sending beats out? Like
no,
were you, like,
no, I wasn't even really sending beats out. I was always just working on my craft because I was still going to school, going to college, going to
At the
film
time,
school.
yeah.
I was going to film school, so I was still doing that, and I was like, I would send out beats every now and then, but I was kind of like that whole process. I was really like, just fucking like always super fucked up, and like, I was kind of like just like. You know, just hanging out in the studio, making beats, having fun.
Right.
You know, but then one of the first people, I don't know, it would probably be, who would it be, man? I don't even know. I mean, one of the first people that like was dope that I recorded was Fredo.
Oh, okay. Fredo.
Rest in peace. That was probably one of the dopest and probably one of the first serious rapper that I ever was like, literally everyone's asleep. It's like 4 a.m. He's like, you got some beats, pull up. You know what I mean? The song is trash. The beat, I listened back to it when I was at my parents' house, the old computer. It's so trash. I was so nervous. He's like, man, someone need to get this kid a
like,
Xan.
fuck it, yeah.
He literally said that.
Mellow him the fuck out.
I think I was like on coke or some shit too.
Yeah.
And like, he's like, relax, man.
Just chill.
Yeah. And then after that, I mean, just a bunch, no one you would know, like a bunch of little people, you know, like, and it was always like shout out through Hurt or through Benny and be someone, you know, he'd bring like Smoke Perp through or like fucking one of their affiliates, Diego Money. Right. You know what I mean? I always had like this kind of runoff of like I would every now and then get to work with some of those fools. Yeah. On my own, I was never really into the promoting and like being, and I would always be self-conscious about like posting my shit.
About like being out there.
Yeah.
Right.
So I
which
would
is
always
a common like artist thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So those were kind of like the first sessions, and like even thinking back, it was like, you know, my beats were so trash. I really wasn't, you know, killing it. But yeah. That's pretty much that.
What was one of the like first projects that you got to touch in terms of production that you felt was like a quality representation of your work?
Yeah, I mean that would probably be the Beer Bongs and Bentleys, the Post Malone album. That
Post
one,
Malone, okay.
Because that's my first big placement. It was like Young Lean, and that's not even huge.
Oh,
it's still
shout out Young Lean.
underground.
That's
still underground.
What did you do with Young Lean?
King Cobra.
Oh my
Track
God,
by
dude!
Young Lean, honestly, in my
Shout
opinion.
out Young Lean.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. And that
is a fire ass Young Lean.
Yeah,
That's an
with
old
Hurt,
Young Lean
yeah,
song.
Hurt did that too. He invited him through, and he pulled up.
Wow.
It was me, Hurt, and Foster.
Shout out Hurt Boy. That's crazy.
But
out
so
Hurt.
fucking that was like the first song that came out, and even that was a case where I was like, this is dope. It's some straight trap shit, but at the same time, I'm like, it's like I want to make, like, you have a vision in your head of how you're gonna make something that sounds different. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I was like, oh, like Kyoto, like that wavy shit. Like you always go in with an artist and you have a vision of what you would do, and it's completely different. You walk away. Yeah, with it. Right. Like you'll be like, I know exactly how it's gonna go. We're gonna.
And then
get
you
you
go
on
in
this
there
shit.
and it's like the opposite.
Yeah. So the first one where I was like, this is what I envisioned. This is fire. Right. Was that Paranoid, because that beat, like when I made that, so I had been getting cuts with Post. Like for the year prior, like,
well, how did
the
you,
person I was working with,
how did you end up getting patched? Like, how did that all start? Like, what was the birth of that?
Shout out to my homie Sweet Sound. I had a song up that he fucked with. Okay. And then he was trying, because I would just like post it and like not promote anything, and you know he was taking himself more seriously, so he was like, yo, we should like do something with this song. Yeah. And then through that, I guess his homie heard it and was like, oh, I want to find, like, I fuck with this song. He goes by Casio. Okay. And then he was an executive producer on Stoney.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he just was like, I'd send him beats. Yeah. And then we'd link like a couple days later, and it'd be like, post this super rough song and fucking one of my beats. And then so we were doing, I was getting all these really rough ideas. Yeah. And then so after he had maybe cut to like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. I was like, okay, I know, like, you know, you report back, and I listen to these songs. So I was like, okay, I want to make the perfect vibe for him. Yeah. Because that's kind of my vibe too. Is like, it's like a wavy, like, I love when the beats, or when a song has that like emotional edge to it. Right. Like, and it doesn't have to be like a fucking pop song or like a, you know, like a singing song like Sam Smith. Like even like Hallucinating, or like Harley by Future. Like those are Future songs, but they still have that emotional, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they've got emotional value behind it.
Yeah. When I made that beat for Paranoid, I was like, this is far, because it's not like the stereotypical trap like drum sample choice. and like the vibe of it and the energy and like the BPM and I feel like it's a good representation of me and it has like the kind of like
It was like a song that you could stand behind and that
yeah, and I thought it was a cool
reflected
song
your-
for Post too because it has some substance and it has that it's not just like a
What
you know,
BPM was it?
I don't even remember honestly.
That's a good
It's kind of
question.
slower though.
Yeah.
I want to say like 124 or something
That's
like
fire.
At what point were you notified that Post was like all in on it? Like, how did you end up?
Well, so when I sent the beat, my homie, he's like, I'm linked with him, and he shows me the text. He's like, Post like, bro, this beat is fucking fire. This is crazy.
Oh, he
like,
showed you his response.
Yeah, yeah. And
That's
then
fucking hilarious.
and then I heard it, and the first time I heard it, the first version of it, I was like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. But you're kind of in like this blackout thing where I couldn't even tell if it was good or bad.
Was
Because it's like you're so
It was
I don't
too
know.
surreal
It's
for
kind of
you, or-
surreal,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And I wasn't extremely excited about it. I wasn't like in my head. I wasn't just like the song is fucking amazing.
Right.
It's weird. Like I wasn't
Right.
able to like.
were you really judgy of your work at that time? Like, were you like, damn, I don't know if this is the one, or like, were
No,
you
no,
s-
no,
were
no,
you
no, no.
sold on it?
No,
Like,
I was sold on the beat,
Okay.
guaranteed. Like that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. This was one that I fucked with. I was like, yes.
you were excited.
I was
to have
super
it, yeah.
excited.
Right.
And then the song, I would just like, yeah, I don't know. It's almost like this weird thing where I'm like listening to it, and like I feel like the first time I really heard it was when I listened to it off the album,
Right.
and I was
wow.
like, yo, actually, this is
you're like, this shit goes.
well because what happened too is so like and that beat like that was a really early one, like that was done literally a year, like the beat was done a
Prior?
year before, and he cut to it like a year before, so that was an
Wow.
old song.
Wow.
Like I mean today's days everyone like the shit is cut like the night before the record
Yeah,
comes out.
right,
That one was
right.
actually like yeah, that was kind of a year in the process.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say that I remember specifically seeing a clip at Coachella where he performed with Sway Lee, and he performed the what's the song on there? Fucking what's the song with Sway Lee on
What's the Sway Lee song?
on Beer Bongs and Bentleys? Anyways, I remember hearing it, seeing the clip, and being like,
yeah.
yo, that song is so fire.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking like, oh my God, am I gonna have the worst song on the album?
Yeah.
Because I was like, and then
You're
everyone
like, this
hated
is
that
not gonna
song.
be
I'm
good,
like,
yeah.
yo, everyone hated that song.
Yeah. That I mean,
Well, that I talked to. I still like that song.
did you feel? When did you know, like, for sure that your shit was gonna end up? Because your shit's track one.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So when
Well,
did you?
I remember hearing
like,
like,
how
yo,
was the whole
I remember,
process
I remember
behind that?
it was probably like a month or 2 months out. Well, because I remember it was supposed to drop in December. He had posted.
Right.
The date kept getting pushed back,
Right.
and I was like, oh shit. And then, but I was at a session, and the track list came out. And I
While
see
you
it-
were at a session?
Yeah, and I see it, and my homie's like, look, and they changed the name. The song was gonna be called, oh my God, what the name? Well, it was a ridiculous name. Instead of Paranoid, it was called something dope, like not incredibly dope, but a different adjective.
Right.
Or
Right.
like a obscure. It was gonna be called like, I don't know, like insanely. It was a really kind of corny, weird name.
Overwhelmed or something.
And I
like
see
that.
it, and then yeah, once it was, but I already knew they changed the name because he says Paranoid
Yeah.
in the hook, so I knew that was it. But
Yeah.
I was hyped. I was like, oh shit, run those streams up. Track one, okay.
Oh
let's
yeah,
go.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, it can't get better than that.
But yeah, and
And
that was
so-
that, and it's crazy because that came out exactly 1 week. That dropped the Friday after that On the Way dropped,
Shit,
which
okay.
which was dope.
Yeah.
Because it was like 2 weeks of like just fucking shit coming out, which is
So
super
did
tight.
you like so the album drops? You probably had your own expectations or like idea of how big that song could be.
Yeah, yeah.
Or how big even the project could be.
yeah.
But did you know that it would go on to be as big as it was? Like, did you already think like this shit's gonna be like triple platinum, fucking
No,
Grammy
I was
nominated?
honestly kind of
like how like
I mean, I was like trying to do numbers in my head. I'm thinking it's pretty hard. Like, so you have to
Yeah.
do a shit. I was never super like, okay, 100% it's a go.
yeah, right.
No, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not like it's. You have to be a pretty big narcissist to think that
Yeah.
your shit's gonna just like quadruple platinum
Yeah,
overnight.
it's
you
a
know?
surreal experience too because that's like was my really like my still big like major placement.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's weird. Like it's like a weird thing where it's hard to kind of like give your like to appreciate and be like, yo, I'm gonna enjoy this right now.
Right,
It's
right.
hard. Like in retrospect, you can. Like now, I'm like, I'll be like, oh shit, like that's crazy.
right.
But yeah, it's
Oh, and what's your favorite Post Malone track? Is it Paranoid?
The one Bluey did.
you know what? Not to. I actually a lot of people tell me that a lot of people tell me that.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I only listened to the record one time, but I wanted
Right.
to listen to it to peep the track.
Yeah.
Right.
I fucked with the beat heavy though. Like the beat
Yeah.
was tight. And then I genuinely thought it was like, there was one other one on there that was pretty hard.
But
what?
I was
Oh,
gonna
no,
say.
I don't want to ask.
I was
you
gonna
that.
say
That-
another
that-
story. I was gonna say another kind of story about that whole situation was like the way that On the Way, that OTW, which is Khalid, Black, and Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah.
So
This is another one you produced?
yeah. So
Oh,
this
okay,
song,
okay.
it came out a week before. So this was like, it was supposed to be. The beat was for Post, and he was
Okay.
gonna be posting Khalid, and then Khalid cut the song over my beat. They ended up redoing the beat. 1985 remade my beat, and then
Really?
yeah, I mean it's not the same beat, but it's like the same chord. There's similar. He cut the song to my beat, and then it leaked with Kodak Black on it.
So how
And
did
then they
yeah.
revamped the beat. I like the new version is way better. So then they did it, but
how did they get the beat in the first place?
well it was like my homie who did all the sending records to Post. Like so it was gonna be
Okay.
a Post, but then apparently Post was like he wanted to do. Because Khalid was doing the hook, he didn't have a verse on it.
Oh,
so then he was
okay,
like,
okay.
he's doing the hook, and then like Kid Ink got on it or some shit, and then it wasn't that tight,
That's
and
gang.
then Kodak got on it, and then it leaked, and then even
Wow.
Kodak's verse was like I wasn't like
It was
super
all
hyped
right.
on it,
Yeah.
and then they changed the beat. It was super hard as a smash. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was supposed to be for Post, and that's kind of how I got that.
Do you end up getting credit for the beat?
Yeah,
Or
I'm
is it-
credited on Genius of that. Like, I'm not getting
Okay.
any like bread on that.
You don't
know,
get bread off it.
I mean,
but
you could. The thing is, you have to fucking pay for a lawyer and go all this stuff,
You have to
hunt
go
stuff
through so
down.
much
You know,
shit
I'm
together,
I'm just
yeah.
grateful to be a part of that.
yeah.
So,
I mean, fuck
that
it,
was
yeah.
my first like real big song. That
Pay
was
your
like
dues.
the first
Yeah.
shit that was on Billboard or something. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
Like,
Right.
So I was just grateful that Khalid cut to it. I didn't know who Khalid was at the time too. 'cause
Right.
He cut that a year before. My homie's like, "Have you heard of Khalid?"
Have you heard of him? Yeah.
And he just dropped that American Spirit or whatever, Teen Spirit.
Teen. Yeah. American
Dream,
Teen. Or
American
something,
Teen,
right?
whatever. Yeah, American
Yeah.
Teen. So
That's
yeah, that was
crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
How did you find out? Were you like chilling at your house and you got a text that shit is like Grammy nominated? The Beer Bongs and
Yeah,
Bentleys
and then it's a
album?
bittersweet thing.
How did
because
that,
as soon
like,
as you get, because then you're like, wait, okay. So does that mean that I'm Grammy nominated? And then you go into the technicalities, and in my head, I'm
Yeah,
like,
what
wait.
it
So
means,
no,
yeah.
technically, for me to win a Grammy, for me to be Grammy nominated, I would
Right.
have had to have produced something like 1/3 of the album or something along those lines.
You can't be just on a track.
Yeah, but then, you to get the actual Grammy trophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or if
yeah.
your song specifically is
Go- yeah,
nominated.
yeah, gets nominated,
But
right.
that being said, like that's like technically you're nominated.
Yeah.
So it's like,
10 minutes left.
but
Yeah.
but I was grateful to even be a part of an album that was nominated.
That's crazy
Yeah.
as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, so right now, I know that you've been producing, obviously, since.
Yeah.
But you've also been working on a project yourself.
Yeah.
So do you want to dive into that a little bit
Yeah,
and just
so,
kind of
like,
explain where that comes from? And
Yeah. So after you get kind of burnt out when you're doing all these industry stuff sessions, like trying to make it, looking at it like a product. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
of
Like,
course.
It's like
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need
yeah.
a Big Sean type beat type song. So recently.
how often, though,
All
also,
the
side
time.
note, are people like, this
Yeah.
needs to sound this way? And
yeah,
they just stop you?
managers and A&Rs think they like have like know what's up.
They're
and,
plugged in, yeah.
But yeah, so I just was like, I'm gonna just make some shit that I think is tight.
Yeah,
that, like doesn't
personally.
really fit into any of like the current
Right.
mold. And
Right.
like naturally it kind of subconsciously ends up having a little bit of, modern shit into it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of more, it leans kind of towards the rock. It's like guitar based,
Right.
with me singing.
And it's you producing the whole project.
me producing it, yeah, and then I'll like collaborate with I'm like working with a couple friends, you know what I mean?
On
And
top
it's
of
gonna
that.
be, it's called Phazzze
Okay.
with 3 Z's.
Phase with 3 Z's. And
Yeah.
people can peep it on IG
Yeah, and
right
I'm dropping.
now.
Yeah, so I'm
But it's
dropping
not
that
out
kind of
yet.
soon. I don't have anything out yet.
Okay,
but I'm just
okay.
doing it just because, you know what I mean? It's like it's just fun. I just want to put it
Yeah.
out. Like I feel a little weird about like it's a job to be an artist.
Well, I think it's kind of like it's like actors. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Actors are like, I got to do one for the studio and one for me.
Yeah, I want to put it
You know
out
what I
just
mean?
so
Like,
people
it's-
can
it-
hear the type of shit that I'm on that otherwise would never
Right.
make it to the public. You know
exactly,
what I mean?
Exactly.
Like show
100%.
kind of the stuff I'm into, like the stuff I could do. You know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And your connection to Half Off here, do you want to dive into that?
The skate
Half
park.
Off, how did you guys
skate
end
park.
up?
We actually beefed. We beefed on MySpace and Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
We were
This fool
commenting on
told
each
me.
other. I told him I was like,
No
I'm gonna
cap.
stab you
Yeah,
if I
no
next time I
cap.
see
No
you.
Wait, this
cap
is a
on
Tapped In
YouTube.
exclusive.
He on tap. I mean on YouTube.
Threatened him
Yeah.
on YouTube.
This
comments.
motherfucker wrote to me, I'm gonna stab you
I
the
was like
next time I
13.
see you.
Yeah.
And I remember I was dead ass a little worried. I was
Tapped In
like, fuck.
exclusive.
Yeah, we
I-
were beefing. We were like, "You're a poser."
Yeah, just like through YouTube for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason.
That's
Yeah, but then
fucking
we became
insane.
homies again. because we were young as fuck. But then
Yeah.
I don't know. I came back from college and like I'd been making beats like how he said where it was just like there wasn't YouTube tutorials.
Yeah.
So I dead ass was making shit where I didn't even know you could flip views in Ableton for
Yeah.
like the first 8 months. And then I
Wow.
came back and he made beats and I remember I linked up with you and then like Sarush was making beats and shit again. But then I started kicking it with Alex a lot more with Nick too.
Right,
when
right.
we lived in that crib, we just made hella music and
Yeah.
posted. And his studio was right near our house.
When you like, so when you guys make beats and shit, I mean, Owen, do you play instruments?
Yeah, now I do.
Or you just like you had to learn them on the fly?
Yeah, I mean now there's YouTube.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I like
so you have
taught
to,
myself chords and like
teach
I-
yourself
basic
piano and
music
guitar
theory.
and fucking.
Yeah, I got fat ass fingers though, so I can't really play keys too well. But I know how to like almost get it, and then I drag the notes. You know, MIDI.
Are you shaming your finger? Don't shame your fingers.
Dude,
Don't
they're
finger
pre-
shame.
they're
Your
pretty
fingers are
wide.
fire.
They're pretty wide, but
I love them. So, Bluey, what about you? What kind of instruments do you fuck with?
Guitar, just
Primarily, or
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I play guitar. That's only I like what took lessons, so I can like actually play the guitar. That's the only one I'm
Unlike
like,
this
trained-
fucking-
But I don't know.
Excuse me.
I don't know theory. I don't know theory or any of that. And I
This-
can like play, like the keys just based from like producing and
Just having
shit
to
like that.
fuck with like midis and
yeah,
like,
yeah.
keyboards
But
and
I don't
shit.
like know music theory or any of that.
So, in terms of production today,
Mhm.
because you're dealing with your current
Yeah.
project and you're dealing with your own sound,
Yeah,
who have you not worked with that you are itching to work with?
dude. I would
What's,
love.
like,
I would
your-
love to work with Daniel Caesar. Daniel
Caesar, okay,
is crazy.
okay.
His voice is
Yeah,
like
I feel
so
that.
sick. Daniel Caesar would
Okay.
be amazing.
So,
that's just
shout
someone-
out Daniel Caesar,
Yeah,
tap
yeah.
into Bluey.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Daniel Caesar's fire.
And
I-
is there
I fuck-
another person you really want to fuck with? Is there like a rapper you're trying to
Yeah,
fuck
I think
with?
Roddy Ricch is dope. He's from LA. I'm from LA. I love
hard.
seeing a dope LA fool that I
Shout
actually,
out Roddy Ricch.
He's so hard. Like I'm big on melodies. I love melodies. Like
have you seen him?
you're the Mr. Melody.
Mr. Melody, yeah.
Literally Mr. Melody.
Have you seen him rap over the like
Yeah, it's so
ukulele
good. Yeah.
and shit? That shit.
Yeah,
Some
he's
dance hall beats.
yeah.
I
he's
love
super
that
good.
shit.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, there's
So
a lot of
good.
dope shit. There's a lot of obviously Future would be amazing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that I think are just like, you know. I've
And
been
is
listening to
there-
a lot of like songwriter singer people recently,
Right.
and I'm just like, I don't know, like.
Are there
Oh,
collabs?
That's why I've only been hearing him pull up with Bieber playing in his whip. I get it.
Shout out to Bieber. I
Respect.
love Bieber.
Shout out JB.
Yeah.
But is there
Yeah, I'm not
anything
hating.
that you've dealt with in terms of sending out beats or making collabs with certain artists that never came to light?
Oh yeah.
Like, are
of
there
course,
like
yeah.
like some
There's-
rappers that you fucked with that didn't end up dropping?
Oh, of course.
the
Yeah. There's
track and-
always songs that are like never see the light of day. You know, that's
Or
like.
did any really bum you out? Like, were you really behind a beat that ended up getting trashed or nixed or?
Oh,
didn't
I
make the
mean,
cut?
well, so the Post Malone featuring 21 Savage.
Okay.
All My Friends.
Yeah.
So there's before the current version.
Yeah.
I produced the beat, and I think there was a version before me even. So
Oh,
I'm not too mad at
really?
it. Yeah.
So there was like a bunch of
and
people
then
on
and then
that.
they told me so the record company calls
Yeah.
me and they're like, yo, Ty Dolla $ign got on this, and it was a
Oh,
different
wow.
version of the same. I kind of fucked up because
Okay.
I guess I gave a version of that song.
Right.
Like I don't know how it got in their hands, and then it ended up some Ty Dolla $ign did a version of it, and then 21 did a version, and 21's came out. So, but I was hyped. I thought I was like, oh shit, this is gonna come out, and then it
Yeah.
came out. Louis Bell produced it. So
That's fucking crazy.
But that was one recent one, yeah. But I mean, I got a lot of shit that I'm working on now that I hope is gonna come out.
okay.
So like, I've been.
No, can you talk about
Yeah,
any
yeah,
of
yeah.
it? or-
So like, Aluna from Aluna George. Are
Okay.
You familiar?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know, she's super fire. She got a crazy voice, amazing singer.
okay.
Um,
And you're cooking with her right now?
yeah, had a couple,
Okay.
like we got a couple songs. She's working on her solo project, which is cool to be a part
Okay.
of. Like when someone is trying to figure out their sound.
Yeah, like branch
So
off.
I have a
and-
couple songs that I really like with her that I think are super dope, and I'm just a fan of hers, so she's
Yeah.
cool. And then
She's pretty big, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's super dope. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
she's
I hope
sick.
that shit would come out. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Well,
Besides that,
if people want to keep tabs on Bluey, where the fuck do we have them follow you? Do you have like Twitter, Instagram? What are your
Twitter, IG, SoundCloud, all of that, just at Blueysport.
at Blueysport? All right,
Yes,
you heard it
one
here
word,
on
Blueysport.
Tapped In. And if
You
you're
want his cell phone number?
Yeah,
IG, blood type.
yeah, just DM Tapped In.
His Addy? I mean,
yeah,
pull up.
we'll hook you up. And first of all, thanks for joining us, Bluey.
Oh, yeah.
because this has been absolutely incredible. Owen, thanks for showing up alive.
Yeah.
And go ahead and subscribe, comment, like. Let us know how you feel in the YouTube comments. let us go check out Bluey shit
Yeah.
because
And honestly,
very easy to
the
find.
people that I didn't mention that you guys should fuck with,
yeah,
honestly, like JG, Foster,
yeah,
Hurt, all
yeah.
this, my whole gang, Owen,
Yep.
Blue, Half Off, like
Yep.
all. We
We'll-
all need, like, you guys should all check all these fools out.
When Phazzze drops, we'll bring you back to promote that shit.
Yes.
because that shit'll be hard.
Yeah.
and we'll get everyone in here.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
yeah. I feel a little guilty because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't talk
You
about
gotta
my one
bring these
homie.
fools out.
I feel really bad, to be
No,
honest.
don't trip.
Shout out
We'll-
JG, shout out Foster.
Everyone, everyone has a home here at Tapped In.
Yeah.
So don't worry. Just be
Shout
sure
out
to
Will.
check us out. Yeah.
All right, Bluey, fucking think about it and say them
Bluey,
all
yeah,
right
no,
now.
no, Bluey
But
can,
no, yeah,
Bluey
I
can
fuck with
get.
tapped in. I'm tapping in with the tap in.
He's tapping in with the Tapped In. Be sure to tap subscribe and stay tuned.
Yeet.
Thank you so much for tapping in and have a good fucking night.